Welcome to another OLLO Live episode. In this one, we'll take a look at the S4R 2018 model and make a list of features that were well accepted by the community, and also the list that we are even more interested in, the list of things we have to change. Let's dive in. How S4R 2018 actually came to life. As many of you know, we had the S1, S2, S3 and S4 as the open back in the early days of OLLO Audio. And once the S4 really took off, there were countless requests from you guys to make a closed back version of it, keeping the same sound signature. After some iterations of the prototype, the S4R 2018 stayed on the market for nearly 2 years. The very first prototype that was built was actually sent to Chris Brown, one of our endorsers, a London-based engineer. His input and feedback is what made small incremental changes to the design that eventually led to the final product. And we are trying to do this once again with your help. Back in 2018, the initial design requirements were quite simple. Just make them on the same chassis, same enclosure, same design overall, just make them closed. That was the request, and I think we achieved that pretty well. But many of you probably understand and know that acoustic design is a lot trickier when it comes to closed cabinets. In a closed design, there are standing waves happening all the time, and their amplitude is a lot higher. So actually designing a neutral sounding closed back is kind of tricky, and it's a big challenge. So that was one of the core challenges on the S4R 2018, minimizing the effect of a closed cabinet. With the S4R 2021, we are setting the following challenges. First, keep the upgradability there, so you can upgrade from 2018 model to the 2021, both from the S4R model and also from the S4 model if you wish to do so, and even make it cross-gradable with the S4X model in case you want to do that. Secondly, do not allow the manufacturing costs to go as high to affect the final price on the market. Again, keeping our promise of reasonable pricing at all times. Thirdly, update them with the pads and the headband that the S4X received early in the 2020. And finally, make them sound as close as possible to the S4X model, making the transition from a recording scenario to a mixing scenario very seamless and pleasant. To extend this list even further, we leaned on our endorsers and the community in general and gathered their feedback.
I think it's pretty good. Isolation could be a bit better.
Everybody loves them when I have them with me.
Those are the main factors.
Everyone likes it more bassy. I don't.
That would be my 2 cents.
How are you?
Very good. I would say maybe it's cool to have a headphone which is either good for DJing and not bad for producing, so to say. Thank you also very much for the great job and for the great headphones and for the great prices. It's like a Ferrari, but you take away the name.
Well, my name is Daniel Fraire. I think it's pretty good. The leak is like super minimal. It also depends on how loud you go, but like with vocalists, I notice a little bit more leaking. The people that have used this, like, what is the left, what is the right? They're always going like that. So if there could be a very easy way just to grab them, whatever side you grab them from, like this left, right. Third suggestion would be for the recording ones to add a little bit of air in the high end to compensate that control environment.
For vocalists, the issue that arises is the leakage out, not so much in, but out and then into the mic. Second thing he mentioned is the left and right, which I agree. It would help to have an easier way to know what is left and what is right. On the final note, he's saying that there should be some more air. That I'm not sure if we're gonna go with. There's actually more requests asking for a bit of recess in the treble area and not so much about boosting. But thank you for your feedback. And over here we now have Brandon.
Good morning.
Hi, Brandon.
Does it sound good? Is it comfortable? Is it going to block out enough bleed? Are they affordable? Those are the main factors. Well, the S4Rs, as far as improvements go, I find a lot of value in a set that people could use in both scenarios, in both mixing and in tracking. I know that a lot of people on smaller budgets can't really afford two sets of these. If there were a way of taming that difference in that top end, that might make the S4RX, I'm assuming, be a little bit more friendly to people who might be wanting to try to mix on them as well. I don't have anything else bad to say about the S4Rs. They did the job and they did it well.
In my opinion as well, Brandon is on point. If you're to buy only one, you should buy a closed one that will work as a recording headphone, and when you have to, you can still perform a pretty good mix on it. And that's a very solid point, and I think we are gonna try really hard to go down this path. Let's see what else happens over here.
My name is Matti Raita. I work with headphones a lot. Sometimes I wish the isolation could be a bit better. For instance, if I need to work with a click, sometimes I notice that the click comes through.
So again, the same as Daniel, the click comes through when you're recording maybe acoustic guitars or vocalists. So we have to work on that and make them a bit more closed.
They could be a bit more travel friendly also. A sturdy case or something. You're doing a great work.
Thank you very much. A case is something that we are very much working on to be, completely transparent. We don't make cases, we don't have the tools, the knowledge to make this kind of thing, so we have to outsource. And when we outsource, ordering 1,000 pieces or 2,000 pieces is very, very difficult. Companies that make these kind of things, they require really large orders, and that has a pressure, financial pressure on a company like we are. But we will have a hard case in 2021, that is a promise.
Truth be told, I bought the recording ones for me, and I took them one time to the studio, and someone was like, hey, well, those are nice. We're coming back next week. Do you think I could use those headphones again? And I'm like, yeah, they live at the studio now. The clients are happy, so that's really all that matters. The left and right. Some people look them and they're like, well, which one is the right one? Which one is the left one? And because they're not really labeled, sonically, personally, I don't think I have any complaints. Maybe the recording are a little slightly bumped. But again, from a tracking perspective, I thought that was a good thing.
They actually are a little bit bumped, so Mike is on point over here. The truth is that the low mids are a bit strong on both previous models, on the S4 and S4R. Although on the S4R, immediately after this bump, there is a recess, which is a resonance that happens inside of a closed cabinet. So they don't sound extremely hot on that area, but they are. They are a bit too strong in the low mids. They are a little bit bumped over there.
The bass player especially, I think that I would probably leave it just because that low mid kind of helps me push forward. That would be my 2 cents. I'm positive that whatever you guys come up with for 2021 is only going to be better. And if you think about something that is hard to make better, I'm sure that you guys are going to find a way to do it.
Well, thank you for trusting us that much. But yeah, we are working really hard to do better. That's the whole idea.
Hey man, everyone likes it more bassy. I don't. I like it really flat. That's why I love these headphones. Recording acoustic guitar is difficult because it's very sensitive. You've got to get your mics, the level up quite loud to get really clear articulation of the acoustic guitar. So it's got to be a pretty good, like tight, closed back headphone to make that work really well without any spill. That would be the number one scenario, but the number two scenario obviously would be recording vocals. As a producer, you're always wrestling with it. You're always changing the sound of a click track or EQing a click track so it doesn't bleed so much. Stuff like that, which is a pain in the ass. Isolation, definitely, but with the isolation, if it's really isolated, it's got to be really comfortable. You know, if I have one request, Rok, it would be a hard case.
Again, a hard case. Coming up in 2021. So we asked the community the following questions. What defines the perfect recording headphone? And this came up. Linearity, good dynamic response, defined stereo image, clear mid-side separation. Here's the funny thing. A clear mid and side separation can be achieved. That's not really a big thing. Also, the older model already has that pretty well. The thing is that side separation is very much connected with the sound stage of a particular device or a headphone, basically. And the sound stage gets bigger with the design of the cup. So, for example, if you have a really small cup, the sound source is very much a small point in space, right? So the sound stage gets smaller. The same is with the distance of the driver. If it's very close to your ears, the sound stage tends to be a little less. If it's further away, you'll have more sound stage. That's one of the reasons why planar magnetics, where a driver is literally like that big, the sound originates from all the directions inside the cup, and that creates this soundstage effect. For closed back headphones, like we are trying to do right here with the S4R 2021, the soundstage will do whatever we can, but I'm 100% sure we will never reach the level of soundstage that open back headphones have. Linearity, yeah, of course, we'll try to make them even more linear than they were before. Here's another one, no sound leakage. Yeah, of course, that's important in recording. Closed back headphones, flat accurate sound replication, max soundstage comfort. Yeah, listen guys, you cannot have extreme soundstage and perfectly closed and no leakage and isolation, everything together. It doesn't work. And also the comfort. You can't have something clamping your ears really strong to have the maximum insulation and at the same time extreme comfort. It just does not go well together, but we'll try to strike somewhere down the middle. Oh, look at that. That's an interesting. 42 people agreed that overall neutrality is preferred compared to some areas being boosted or beeped. And yeah, I tend to agree with that. All right, so this is the list. This guy is called Greg Anatar. New headband, dude. Left and right. People don't know what is left and what is right. Less leakage. More balanced. More isolation. Extra clarity would be nice. Some more comfort as well. They should be upgradable. And don't forget the hard case. More comfort. I want to invite you into our development process of the new S4R 2021. What that means is that when you sign up, you submit your email over there, you will be notified about the very early birds. So pre-orders, when we launch them, you will be the first one to get them at special price. And also you will be invited to participate in the development process, meaning giving feedback, ideas, concerns. You will actually help us design a great product for you. Join us.